Hello, everyone. My name is Tanner Nations, and this is my management team and personnel plan for Entrepreneurship 301 with Dr. Lom. The idea I have is called Hooked Outdoors. It is a full service fly shop. I've worked in the retail side of things in fly fishing and guided fly fishing trips. So let's get started, and I hope you enjoy it. First thing you can see listed here is the organizational chart. And as you can see, there's a lot of positions on this chart, one that could be used for a much bigger company. But to start out with, for right now, it's going to be a very small, single fly shop located in Western North Carolina, possibly Whittier to be exact. So as you see, we got the board of directors, a CEO, CMO, CFO, and a lot of other things below that. So most of these are going to be full-time positions at Hooked Outdoors, such as the marketing and accounting, HR and management. But as you look below those certain branches, you'll notice other spots. Like for marketing here, you have social media expert, content marketing expert, and an email marketing expert. So because this is such a small shop, as I was saying, the whole marketing aspect of this company is going to be held by one person, and we're going to try to get those taught up on each and every one of those. For accounting, it's the same thing. We're going to have one person for accounting rather than three separate people doing three different things. And it's going to help us save money. The IT section, that's not going to be something that we have a full-time position as. We understand that most of the time our phones, our computers are going to work. So we don't need anything like that. And a lot of times if something is messed up, somebody in the store could probably fix that. But if there is an issue that arises that we can't do that in store, we will have an IT guy come out that will be able to pay hourly to do that. Another one like the IT would be the legal side of things. And like I said, with IT, hourly pay, we're going to use them only when needed. If the unfortunate event comes up where we have to deal with lawyers and stuff, we'll pay them by the hour and when they're needed. HR will be going over the hiring, firing, and employee safety practices held at Hooked Outdoors. It's very important. We want to make sure our employees and the people shopping at our store are safe while they're there. Next up, you'll see the equity structure of Hooked Outdoors. You'll see the CEO, which is going to be myself if this business ever happens. I'm going to own 55% of the company, and I'm going to be the majority owner, so it could be under my ownership for the life of this business. The next largest percent you see comes from investor number one on the pie chart, and they're going to be owning 15% of the business just because they've invested their money into it. With 15% of the company belonging to this specific investor, we expect them to have a hands-on approach to the business. So we want them there to help us out any way they can, and in turn, they're going to be owning part of the business. Investor number two is only going to be holding 12% of the equity. They're not going to own any of the business, although that money will be going towards things like marketing and other things like that. The next largest percentage of equity you see there is the building owner. They have what we want. There is a lot of buildings around here, but what we're looking for specifically is something that looks like a log cabin. In the Whittier area, just driving down the strip, you can see a lot of buildings that feature the log cabin look, and that's what we're looking for. So they'll have on 10% of the business, and we understand that a lot of that money that they're going to be getting from our business will be going back into keeping the lights on, the heat running, and stuff like that. Lastly, on the equity structure, 8% is going to go to the new product development piece. I've thought that if they can keep new fishing products coming out with their imagination, trying to stay competitive in the market, I will personally let them own 8% of the business if that means that we can stay competitive. What you're seeing next is the employee's personnel plan. And all these salaries that I'll speak of here in the next few sections will be taken from glassdoor.com. So the first upper level position, as you see there, and that's going to be the Director of Customer Experience. We want to make sure that both us and our customers can benefit from shopping at Hooked Outdoors. This position is going to make around $140,000 a year. Next is the Director of Operations, another upper level position. They will be taking care of the day-to-day activities for each location if we ever get to multiple locations. And this person, one of the things that we ask them is they be a fantastic communicator and not have an issue talking to their employees. They're going to have to be able to delegate tasks within each location to ensure that our business functions properly. They're going to be making around 140,000 a year as well. Next is the marketing chair. As you've seen that in the organizational chart, they're going to be in charge of all the marketing that our business has. So we want to be successful. We want to get our product out there, whether that be through different outlets such as social media, billboards, anything like that. We just want to get out there and be known. So they're going to be making around 138,000 per year. And lastly, for the upper level is going to be the inventory manager. They're not going to be at the shop exactly, but they will be in charge of the central warehouse where all of our inventory is stocked if it ever gets to multiple locations. They're going to be making 71,000 per year. Next is the marketing personnel, and below the marketing chair there'll be a VP of marketing. They're going to choose what outlets we use, and they will be taking some advice from the chair of marketing, such as where to advertise, like direct marketing, event marketing, social media marketing. This person will be making 128,000 a year. Lastly, for the marketing personnel is the analyst. They're going to be making around 71,000 a year. They're just going to make sure that we know who to target and helping the VP and the marketing chair put those outlets into place. For the floor level positions, we're going to have a store manager. They're going to know where everything's at. They're going to be able to point customers in the right direction. And we want to let them set the goals for each store and make sure we have a good profit from that. So this position will make around 56,000 per year. Inventory associate, they're going to count the merchandise we have in store, make sure everything's stocked, etc. 47,000 per year. And the lead sales associate, given that we will have multiple retail employees later on in the business, they're going to be in charge of those employees. They're going to be making around 43,000 a year, while the retail sales associates, we're going to start them out at around $12 per hour. It's going to be roughly 35 grand a year, but if they're there for longer than a couple of years, I'm not against giving them a raise to keep them on site if they are doing a good job. Next is a spreadsheet that just shows the salaries for all those positions. I'll give you a couple seconds to look over at that. The last section we'll be going over is the recruitment, selection, and implementation section. As you can see here, another shot at the organizational chart, which was at the beginning of the document. So the first position is a CEO. As you can see there, it has my name, Tanner Nations. I'm going to be making the majority of the business decisions at this company. So I have expertise in the business, as I mentioned at the beginning of this screencast. I've had a long career in guiding in terms of my age that I am. So I will be in charge of management roles within this company, and I will be expected to help come up with new ideas to keep this company running and keep money going into my employees' pockets. The CMO position, they'll be in charge of the marketing and operations within a company. Every new idea will be brought through this person before it is shown to the public. To start out, they're going to make around 81,000 per year, but after they've been there for 2 years, their salary is going to increase by 3,000. We want this person to have a bachelor's degree at least, maybe a marketing degree, and economics knowledge and accounting knowledge with that. They will be involved in managerial roles, and they will have say in what the rest of the marketing department does. The person I had in mind for this is Diane Bristol. She brings over 20 years of marketing experience to the industry, and currently she is the director of marketing for Sims Fishing Products, a well-known brand in the industry. And she understands what the industry needs right now. So if we get her on site, that'll help the business out a ton. Next position is the CFO. This position will be the head of accounting operations. They're going to be in charge of all the financial stuff. They're going to be making $103,000 to start out with. Basic qualification is going to be a bachelor's degree with accounting and economics knowledge. We're looking for experience in the industry as well, and they will have managerial issues to go over as well because of their position. The person I had in mind with this was Robert Bean. He is a veteran CFO and is currently has spent his last 13 years at the Orvis Company, which I'm very fond of and hope to have their products in my store one day. So he's done really well there, so we hope to get him on site and help us out. For the marketing director, this is a lower level position. They'll be responsible for reaching out and researching the target market. They will work directly with the CMO and myself and the CFO to go over any ideas with. They're going to have a base salary of $60,000, and each year that thereafter they'll be increased by $2,000. Bachelor's degree in marketing, leadership skills, have to be able to communicate well with others, and they will be in charge of new hires if our company ever gets to the point where we need more marketing employees. Next will be the accounting director. This person must have a wealth of knowledge in the accounting department. They're going to report directly to the CFO, and this person is important for our continued success as they will be in charge of examining reports and accounts. They must also show an interest in the outdoors. They will have a base salary of around $76,000, which is pretty well, I think. Bachelor's degree, knowledge in accounting, great communication skills. As you hear that once again, I hope you're beginning to realize how important communication is in this business. A person I had in mind for this was a lady named Tammy Meisner. She is currently the business analytics director for Bass Pro Shops, and prior to that, she was the director of accounting for Cabela's Incorporated. That's a lot of experience in the outdoor industry, so we hope to get her on, helping out at Hooked Outdoors and getting a good cash flow in. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the IT position is going to be an hourly position. We will not need them all the time. They're going to make sure that our infrastructure at Hooked Outdoors is doing well, and if there is new systems that we needed to put into place, they're going to help us out with that. As you can see there, $25 an hour starting out with. They don't have any managerial roles because they're not going to be there full time. The person I had in mind for this was Tom Madigan. He's currently the director of IT for Delivery Works, and he's been there for the past 8 years. So we don't want to take him away, like I said, hourly. And if we ever need his help, we're going to contact him. Next position is the Human Resources Manager. As mentioned earlier, this person will be in charge of hiring and firing practices and also going over safety procedures with our employees and guides that we have out on the water just to make sure our customers are always safe. The salary range for this person is going to be $80,000 starting out. Qualifications include a bachelor's degree, and we want at least 5 years of experience within that field. Person I had in mind was Pam Nemlich. She is currently the director of human resources for the Orvis Company, and she has over 30 years of experience in that field, so it would be a great person to look into for that position. She graduated from Cornell University in 1983 with a bachelor's degree in industrial and labor relations. The last position that I'm going to go over is a store manager. This person is going to be in charge of everything inside the store, making sure we have what needs to be on the shelf, delegating tasks to our retail employees, and the base salary for them is going to be $50,000. A person I had in mind is a cousin of mine, and his name is Brett Farley. He currently helps run his father's store, Outpost Mountain Outfitters. So we're co-workers together. We know each other really well. We've grown up together, so I have a trust in him. He's gained a lot of experience over the past few years working in that store, so I think he'd be a good person to potentially run a store all by himself one of these days. So lastly is my exit plan and concluding thoughts. I hope that you have learned a little bit about myself through this screencast. I hope you understand that I am passionate about the outdoor industry. And if I do open this business one day, I could probably honestly say that I love what I do. I understand a lot of people these days in the business world can't say that, so that'd mean a lot to me. And if I have success with this first flagship location, I hope to open up new locations around North Carolina and possibly even the Southeast. If the day comes where I'm too old to run the shop, or if I do get tired of running the shop, rather than selling it, I'd most likely pass it on to a family member who would also be passionate about the business. But I'd like to oversee the business and include it in day-to-day operations just to make sure things are still ran the way I see. So again, thank you for watching this screencast, and I hope you enjoyed it.